Hey, it's Brandon from thirststim.com. Today we're talking about how you can make sure you're building athletic muscle to help you perform better on the field and the court. All right, the first thing you want to make sure you do is focus on recovery. So getting ample amount of protein and carbohydrates and fats in your diet, eating quality foods, and then getting quality recovery methods like quality sleep and then quality stress control. So whenever you're training, you got to be able to recover from that training. So making sure you're getting 7 to 8, maybe even 9 hours of sleep per night, and then you're getting in ample protein. So about 1 gram per pound of body weight is typically kind of the gold standard. And then also ensuring you're having enough carbohydrates to fuel that training, and then fats as well for good quality hormone function, and also having sustained energy throughout maybe long games or matches. Outside of that, you want to make sure on the recovery side, you're still stretching, you're still foam rolling, and you're still moving in a quality manner even on days that you're not training, so that you're moving around, and that's going to help your overall systematic recovery. You can even throw in low steady state days of doing 15 to 25, 30 minutes of like low cardio, just sitting on a bike or an elliptical or going for a walk, and that as well will help your overall recovery from the full training week. Number 2 is going to make sure that you're actually doing plyometrics. So while we still want to make sure we're building quality muscle to have athletic-based muscle, you still want to make sure you're jumping, running, bounding, and doing different athletic-based movements so that any strength and size that you are putting on, you're still moving in athletic ways and you're training in athletic ways. So from a plyometric perspective, you need to make sure you're doing these in single leg, both leg, side to side, forward and vertically. Including all of these overall in your training approach is going to help you move better and be more athletic. And then depending upon what your sport is, you can dial those in more specifically as your sport season comes to you. So if you are a rotational based athlete, then you want to make sure you're doing rotational based things. If you're an athlete that's got to jump high and change direction like basketball, you want to make sure you're pushing your vertical jump and your ability to shuffle side to side and jump side to side, coming around picks or jumping in front of a ball or in front of a defender. So just make sure that you're training all of those different types of plyometrics week in, week out throughout the year, and then just push the ones that are more important for your sport as your sport season comes around the corner. The third thing is to make sure you're building absolute strength. So while it's important that you recover and you have some kind of plyometrics, at the end of the day, you still got to make sure you're strong. So you want to still make sure you're doing your big for your buck bang movements like squat, bench press, and deadlift variations. This can also include things like cleans, snatches, jerks, and any variations of those weightlifting based movements, because you can build a lot of strength and power from those exercises. We want to make sure that these are heavy. So generally you're going to find that you're doing these anywhere from 2 to 5 sets of 1 to 5 reps, big quality strength exercises, really heavy. And what's nice is it's going to let you be able to put more force into the ground or whatever implement that you happen to play with, and that overall strength is going to help you increase your force, and by having more force, you're going to have more of that athletic based muscle that you're looking for to help you with your sports. Number 4 is going to be general hypertrophy training. Now, I'm not talking about just like bodybuilder work where you're doing high rep curls and press downs and chest based work, but hypertrophy is in 2 different spectrums. So we've got our sarcoplasmic and our myofibrillar. From an athletic perspective, we want more myofibrillar hypertrophy if we can. That's where the actual muscle tissue and fiber is going to grow in size and become more dense, and that's going to give you that more dense look, but that weight that you're going to put on and that strength and size that you're going to come to put on is going to be quote unquote more functional to what you're doing. So this is like 6 to 10 reps on average of the exercises you're doing. So you could do these with like your lunges, your chin ups, your pull ups, your lat pull downs, your dumbbell pressing variations, anything like that. You want to make sure you're in a good quality hypertrophy range there to build that good functional muscle. Then we've got sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, and this works better for your single joint exercises or bringing up lagging areas that's going to help you as an athlete. That might be your hamstrings, that might be your calves, that might be maybe your chest or your abdominals, something like that. We want to make sure that we're getting quality work in those weak links, those weak chains that we have, and we're going to do that through higher repetition based stimulus. So the cell size is going to grow, not the fiber size. So the fiber would be actually in basically the quote unquote cell. By getting the cell bigger, that lets us the opportunity for the fiber to get bigger as well. And from a cellular perspective, these are generally higher reps. Usually you're gonna look at 12 to 20 repetitions. So things like band leg curls, band pull throughs, any kind of higher rep accessory work for your arms, your shoulders, your rotator cuff, anything like that, your calves even, are things that you can get high rep stimulus in, and that's still gonna help prepare the tissues for the demands that you need, but it's also gonna bring up those muscle groups like we mentioned, so that you've got less energy leaks in your system, and you're just gonna sprinkle these in throughout your training sessions where you feel that you need them from an athletic based perspective, and that's gonna help you make sure you've got more athletic based muscle to help you perform better. And number 5, the last important thing is make sure you're staying on top of your mobility. While it's great to be stronger, better recovered, and have more size, if you're doing your mobility work with all this, as you're stacking all that stuff together, you're not gonna lose any range of motion. That's one people fear about being in the weight room, is it's gonna make you big, bulky, slow down, lose range of motion. But the truth of the matter is, if you're training through full ranges of motion with your strength and your hypertrophy exercises, you're gonna mitigate a lot of that just off the get-go. But by staying on a good quality mobility routine, not only before you train in your warm-up, you can also sprinkle these in as fillers, but even on your off days, if you're doing just some simple mobility drills for your hips, your shoulders, and your ankles, you're gonna find that you continue to move very athletically, you can continue to train hard, you're gonna improve that recovery, and overall, that athletic-based muscle that you're trying to build is gonna help you in practice and on the court, on the field when it comes to game time, and you're not gonna look somebody that's like big, bulky, and immobile by just moving better. If you go to look at any of the best athletes in the world, they move incredibly well. They've got good quality mobility, and the strength and the size that they've built over time has paired nicely with that, which is what lets them dominate on the field and the court. All right, that's all we got for today's video. If there's anything you thought I missed, let me know in the comments section. Hopefully this helps you continue to get stronger, build muscle, and be more athletic for your athletic endeavors. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments section below, and we'll see you next week.